All right, Commanders fans, let's get into this one because it is a story that proves exactly what we've been saying all along. Before I dive in, let me remind you, this Washington Commanders team is working day and night to get sharper, tougher, and more dangerous every single week. The organization has one goal: to perfect the process and bring wins back to DC. And here at Commanders HQ, we're going to break it all down for you like nobody else does. So do me a favor, hit that like button right now, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe so you never miss an update on your team. Now, let's talk about Caleb Williams, Jayden Daniels, and why the Commanders are sitting in the perfect position for the present and the future. On Monday Night Football, the entire country watched Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears take on the Minnesota Vikings. Williams came out hot. Crisp passes, confidence, the kind of start you expect from the #1 overall pick. But then, the script flipped. The Vikings defense adjusted, pressure started coming from every angle, and suddenly, Williams looked rattled. His processing slowed down, his accuracy dipped, and the Bears' offense collapsed. Minnesota stormed back, and J.J. McCarthy, yes, the same guy Commanders insiders had rated higher than Williams on their board, announced himself with a big-time comeback win. Now let me ask you this, Commanders fans. Does that sound like Jayden Daniels? No chance. Daniels is the opposite. He gets better as games go on. Pressure? He welcomes it. Adjustments? He figures it out. Setbacks? He doesn't blink. That's exactly why Adam Peters and the front office had Daniels at the top of their gourd, even if they'd somehow landed the #1 pick. And Monday night was just confirmation. Commanders fans knew all along Caleb Williams wasn't the right fit here, and Daniels was. Let's give some credit where it's due. A big thank you card is owed to Chicago Bears GM Ryan Poles. By zeroing in on Caleb Williams and ignoring every other possibility, he left Jayden Daniels sitting there at #2. That decision changed the future of the Washington Commanders. Think about it. Daniels' leadership, his poise, his ability to ignite an offense and carry a locker room, that's not just rookie flash, that's who he is. And it's exactly what this franchise needed to turn the page after years of instability. Williams might grow into his role in Chicago. He's a talented player, no doubt. But right now, Daniels is ahead by miles. His football IQ, his command of the huddle, his dual threat ability, it's why this team went from question marks to the NFC Championship game in his very first season. Now, I know some fans had their hearts skip a beat when Jayden Daniels' name popped up on the injury report this week with a wrist issue. But take a deep breath, Commanders Nation. Head coach Dan Quinn shut that down immediately. Zero concerns. Daniels was a full participant in practice and will be under center Thursday night at Lambeau Field. Quinn said it himself. There's nothing to worry about. And if you know Daniels, you know he's not about to sit out of a primetime game because of a little soreness. This guy is as tough as they come, and he's the heartbeat of this team. Let's take a step back and appreciate what Daniels has already done. Heisman Trophy winner at LSU in 2023. Drafted #2 overall to spearhead a new era in Washington. Took the Commanders all the way to the NFC Championship game as a rookie. That doesn't just happen, that's special. And you remember that hilarious Hail Mary against the Bears last season? The one that instantly became a highlight reel moment for the ages? Plays like that are why the fan base has fallen in love with this guy. He's electric, but he's also steady. That's a rare combination, and it's why Commanders fans should feel confident every single time he's on the field. Against the Giants this past Sunday, Daniels didn't even have his sharpest outing, and he still threw for 233 yards, a touchdown, and completed 19 of 30 passes. He took care of the football, he kept the chains moving, and he was only sacked 3 times against a very physical New York pass rush. That's what great quarterbacks do. Even on an average day, they give their team a winning edge. Now the focus turns to Thursday night in Green Bay. This isn't just any game. This is Jayden Daniels versus Jordan Love, two of the most exciting young quarterbacks in football under the lights at Lambeau Field. And there's an extra wrinkle. The Packers just added Micah Parsons, one of the most dangerous defenders in the league. They're coming off a dominant win over the Lions, and they're going to bring everything they've got to slow Daniels down. This is the kind of stage Daniels thrives. Remember, he's not rattled by pressure. He's not fazed by hostile environments. If anything, he seems to get stronger the bigger the moment is. And Commanders fans, this is going to be a big one. A win on Thursday night would be more than just a 2-0 start. It would be a statement to the rest of the NFL that Washington isn't just a nice story anymore. They're a legitimate contender with a legitimate star quarterback leading the way. Let's start with the good. Washington walked into Week 1 and handled business against the New York Giants. Jayden Daniels, even if he wasn't as razor-sharp as we know he can be, still gave us flashes of why he's the face of this franchise. The offense looked dynamic at times, the defense set the tone with physicality, and overall, it was the kind of win that makes you believe this season could be special. Young guys like Josh Conerly Jr. had their first taste of NFL reality, some ups, some downs, and veterans like Frankie Louvu showed they're still adjusting to their roles in this new defensive structure. And yet, despite all that, Washington looked in control. So, why after a double-digit win are we still talking about a problem that feels bigger than the scoreboard? Because, Commanders fans, once again, the yellow flags rained down. Washington was flagged 14 times against the Giants. 12 of those penalties were accepted. That's the third highest total in the entire NFL in Week 1. And this isn't new. Last season, the Commanders were one of the most penalized teams in the league. 5th most in total penalties, 4th worst in yardage given up, and a big chunk of that came from the defense. Dan Quinn and Joe Whitt Jr. coach an aggressive style, and we love that. Attack, swarm, finish to the whistle. That's how championship defenses play. But when aggression turns into recklessness, it stops being a weapon and starts being a liability. Think about it. Against the Giants, penalties extended drives that should have ended. Unnecessary roughness, roughing the passer, hands to the face. The kind of flags that hand free opportunities to an opponent. And it wasn't just the defense. 3 offensive linemen were flagged for holding. Add in 3 pre-snap penalties, and suddenly you've got a self-inflicted mess that even Jayden Daniels' brilliance can't always overcome. Here's what's most troubling. These weren't rookie mistakes. We're not talking about wide-eyed first-year players trying to adjust to NFL speed. We're talking about veterans.
Zach Ertz, Noah Brown, Austin Ekeler, combined over 3 decades of NFL experience. All 3 hit with pre-snap penalties. On defense, Bobby Wagner, Von Miller, Dietrich Wise Jr., and Marshawn Lattimore, 4 guys with nearly half a century of NFL experience between them, and they were the ones committing the fouls. That's unacceptable. When your veterans, the leaders who are supposed to set the standard, are the ones handing out free yards, it's more than just sloppy play. It's a cultural issue. And Dan Quinn, who has worked tirelessly to reset this culture, cannot let it linger. Against the Giants, Washington got away with it. Daniels made plays. The Giants' offense doesn't have the firepower to fully capitalize. But this week, primetime, Thursday Night Football, on the road against the Green Bay Packers, that's a different animal. The Packers are well coached, they're disciplined, and they have the kind of offensive weapons that will punish every free set of downs you give them. You hand them 14 penalties, you won't be 2-0. It's that simple. The bigger picture is this. If Washington truly wants to make noise in the playoffs, if they want to show the NFL they're more than just an exciting young team, they cannot afford to beat themselves. Championships are won by execution and discipline. Every yard counts. Every drive matters. And in January, a single unnecessary roughness flag can send you home. Now, let's be clear. Nobody here is saying dial back the aggression. That's not the Commanders' identity. This defense is built to fly around, hit hard, and intimidate. It's the Quinn Witt philosophy, and it works. Look at the Dallas Cowboys during Quinn's tenure there. Look at how Seattle built the Legion of Boom. Aggressive defenses win championships. But even the great ones know how to balance it. Play to the whistle, not through it. Attack the quarterback, but don't give the refs a reason to throw the flag. Jam the receiver, but don't hold him. Discipline doesn't mean soft. Discipline means smart. And right now, Washington needs to play smarter. This is where the leaders in the locker room come in. Guys like Bobby Wagner, Von Miller, Laramie Tunsil, and Terry McLaurin. These are veterans who have been through playoff wars. They know how thin the margins are. They need to hold the locker room accountable. And this is also where Dan Quinn has to flex his influence. One of his biggest strengths as a coach is connecting with his players. He knows how to get buy-in. And if anyone can thread the needle between aggression and discipline, it's Quinn. This week against the Packers is more than just a football game. It's a test. Can Washington prove they're capable of cleaning up the details? Can they show the league that the culture has shifted from talented but sloppy to talented and disciplined? So let's bring it back full circle. Caleb Williams' latest collapse in primetime, it just confirmed what we've known all along. The Bears can have him. Washington has Jayden Daniels, and that's the quarterback who fits this team's identity, culture, and future. Daniels isn't just a talented player, he's a game changer. He's the guy who makes everyone around him better. He's the guy who makes fans believe, and he's the guy who has this franchise knocking on the door of greatness again. So here's my question to you, Commanders fans. Do you think Chicago will regret taking Caleb Williams over Jayden Daniels? And how far do you believe Daniels can take Washington this season? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I can't wait to hear what you all think. And before you go, don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to Commanders HQ, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the action. This season is just getting started, and trust me, you'll want to be here every step of the way. Because one thing is crystal clear. Jayden Daniels is the quarterback of the present and the future in Washington. And the rest of the league is starting to realize it too.